Why did intrastate conflicts dominate IHL post-Cold War? Imagine a world where wars are no longer just between countries but happen inside countries themselves. After the Cold War, this shift changed how international laws work. International humanitarian law, or IHL, was originally made to control wars between nations. It was built around treaties like the Geneva Conventions, which protect civilians, wounded soldiers, and medical workers during international wars. But as the Cold War ended, the world saw fewer traditional wars between states. Instead, many conflicts became internal, involving governments and their own people or non-state groups like rebel armies and terrorist organizations. This change was driven by big political shifts. When the Soviet Union collapsed, the superpower rivalry that fueled many interstate wars disappeared. Countries faced new problems like ethnic tensions, political instability, and struggles for power. These issues led to civil wars and other internal violence. Since these conflicts happen within a country's borders, they are harder to regulate with laws designed for wars between countries. Governments often hesitate to apply IHL because they worry it might give legitimacy to rebel groups or insurgents. One important development was the inclusion of Common Article 3 in the Geneva Conventions of 1949. It set minimum rules for non-international conflicts, like civil wars. It says all people who are not fighting must be treated humanely. It bans torture, cruel treatment, and violence against civilians. Later, in 1977, the Geneva Conventions added protocols to better cover internal conflicts. Protocol 2, for example, provides more detailed rules for protecting civilians and those no longer fighting. But not all countries have agreed to these updates, which limits their reach. Enforcing IHL in internal conflicts is tough. Non-state groups may ignore or reject international rules. Governments might be reluctant to enforce them because they fear it could weaken their authority or legitimize rebels. Civilians often suffer the most, facing displacement, violence, and attacks on hospitals and schools. Humanitarian organizations like the International Committee of the Red Cross work hard to promote respect for IHL. They try to get all sides to follow the rules, help victims, and report violations. Still, violations happen often, and enforcement remains a challenge. In the end, the rise of internal conflicts after the Cold War made it clear that protecting civilians and respecting international law in these situations is more important than ever. The international community continues to adapt and develop IHL to better handle these complex, often violent, internal struggles. This shift shows how laws evolve to meet new realities and protect human dignity, no matter where or how conflicts happen.